The Mona Lisa has been stolen, the Last Supper destroyed. These are newspaper headlines we would never want to see. But sadly, we often see this: activists throwing paint or soup on famous paintings. Lately, it feels like every few weeks we hear this in the news. People get angry, debates explode online, and security gets stricter in museums worldwide. But here's the thing, art has always been under attack, and not just by protesters. Some of history's most famous masterpieces have been ruined, stolen, and even bombed. Well, if we talk about art, Italy is home to some of the greatest works of art ever created, but also quite a lot of shocking art crimes. In this video, I'll talk about 4 of Italy's most jaw-dropping art crimes that almost robbed the world of priceless treasures. Starting off strong with the Mona Lisa. Everyone loves it. Millions of tourists stand in massive crowds of people just to see it, and especially to have her eyes follow you wherever you go. And suddenly, she's gone. How could this happen? Well, it starts on the 21st of August in 1911, and the Mona Lisa, yes, that very Mona Lisa, sits quietly in the Louvre, admired by visitors from all around the world. But then, the unthinkable happens. She disappears. For 2 days, no one even notices she's missing. You might think, how did no one notice? Didn't anyone care? Well, actually, at the time, the Mona Lisa wasn't as famous as it is today. But when the museum finally realizes the painting is gone, the drama, of course, begins. How could someone steal Leonardo da Vinci's masterpiece from one of the most secure museums in the world? The shocking truth? It was an inside job. An Italian handyman named Vincenzo Perugia hid inside the museum overnight, disguised as a worker. He simply lifted the Mona Lisa off the wall, wrapped it in his coat, and walked right out of the front door. For 2 years, the painting stayed hidden in a small apartment in Florence. Perugia's reason? He believed the Mona Lisa belonged in Italy, not France. He took Italy's "we want the Mona Lisa back" a little too seriously. But in 1913, he was finally caught when he tried to sell it. The painting was recovered and returned to the Louvre, and ironically, the heist made the Mona Lisa more famous than ever. Today, it's the most visited painting in the world, forever connected to one of history's greatest art thefts. Did you know that Leonardo da Vinci's Last Supper almost didn't survive World War II? This world-famous fresco, painted directly onto the walls of the convent of a church called Santa Maria delle Grazie in Milan, is both breathtaking and extremely fragile. And in August 1943, it was almost gone forever. During an Allied bombing raid on Milan, the convent was badly damaged. Buildings around it collapsed, and the ceiling above the Last Supper crumbled. Dust and debris basically filled the air completely. But against all odds, the wall holding the fresco remained standing. You can almost say it was a miracle that the painting remained intact. Before the war, people had actually placed sandbags and wooden reinforcements around it, but no one really believed that they could save it. But when the dust cleared up, the Last Supper was still there, damaged but alive. After the war, experts worked non-stop to repair and preserve what was left of the painting. Today, visitors can still see this near miracle of survival, knowing how close it became to being lost forever. Over the years, the Last Supper has faced not just war, but also natural aging and decay, because Da Vinci used an experimental fresco technique that made the colors fade faster than normal. And if the bombing had been just a little bit closer, the masterpiece would have been gone forever. This raises a big question. How many works of art have been lost in war? From the looting of ancient Rome to the Nazi thefts of World War II, countless priceless artworks have disappeared or remained hidden in secret collections. The Last Supper's survival is one of the rarest victories in a long history of artistic destruction. Now, this story will sound too crazy to be true. It's a normal day in St. Peter's Basilica, the Vatican City, and a crowd of tourists are standing in front of one of the most beautiful sculptures ever created, Michelangelos Petra. The marble masterpiece shows the Virgin Mary holding the body of Christ with breathtaking softness and sorrow. But suddenly, a man steps forward holding a hammer and does something unthinkable. Laszlo Toth, an Australian geologist, smashes the Pietà multiple times while shouting, "I am Jesus Christ risen from the dead." The reaction of the crowd was obviously pure chaos, and before security can stop him, he had already broken off Mary's arm and damaged her nose and veil. The world is in complete shock. How could one of Michelangelo's most famous sculptures be so brutally attacked? Thankfully, after an intense restoration process, experts carefully pieced the Pietà back together using marble dust and glue. Today, it obviously sits behind bulletproof glass as a permanent reminder of how close we came to losing it. This attack just shows how vulnerable art is to the acts of destruction, but it also highlights the dedication of those who work so many hours to protect and restore it. Without these skilled restorers, this 500-year masterpiece could have been lost forever. This one is sadly not an art crime, but something much bigger. It's a late night in Florence, and the Uffizi Gallery, home to Botticelli, Da Vinci and Caravaggio, is one of the most famous museums in the world. Suddenly, a car bomb planted by the Sicilian Mafia explodes just outside the building, shaking the city and damaging centuries of history. The explosion kills 5 people, injures dozens, and severely damages priceless artworks. Caravaggio's Adoration of the Shepherds is covered in debris. Botticelli's work suffers scratches and cracks, and one of the hardest hit pieces, Gerardo della Notti's Lamentation over the Dead Christ, is almost completely destroyed. The attack was part of the Mafia's violent campaign against the Italian government, but the world of art paid the ultimate price. It took years of careful restoration to repair the damaged masterpieces. But why would the Mafia target a museum? At the time, the Italian government was taking strong action against organized crime, arresting Mafia leaders and claiming their assets. To get back at them, the Mafia carried out bombings to intimidate officials and spread general fear. The Uffizi Gallery was one of their victims, but they also attacked sites in Rome and Milan, putting not only citizens' lives in danger, but also Italy's artistic and historical heritage. The bombing obviously changed the way Italy protects its art. These happenings are the reason that major museums and cultural landmarks have such top security and advanced surveillance systems to prevent attacks. These crimes could have erased some of Italy's and the world's most precious works of art. But thanks to restoration, a lot of patience, and basically some good old luck, these masterpieces survived against all expectations. Each attack, theft, and bombing only adds to their legacy. It's crazy to think about, right? One day something is there and the next it's gone. Even though art is just an object, it means so much to us. It connects us to history, culture, and even to our own feelings. Imagine waking up one day to find the Colosseum destroyed or Van Gogh's sunflowers gone forever. It would feel like a deep loss, almost like a piece of us is missing. Art tells stories, holds memories, and makes us feel something special. Losing it isn't just about losing an object, it's about losing a part of history and a part of what makes us human.